Namaste friends. Since 2nd of July up to 15th of August, we were engaged in bridge course activities. Before that, as our school declared the schedule of teaching and learning through videos after reopening the school in June, we had learned a teenager's prayer. Before that, in the month of May, I was not supposed to teach English to standard 10th division A and B, but I had already taught the story An Encounter of a Special Kind to the students in division C through Google Meets. I just give you the reference for students in 10th C. 4th of May, an evening Google Meet. We had conducted warm-up and you were given listening practice of the story. Then on 5th of May, the vocabulary was introduced. Again on 6th of May, the remaining vocabulary was introduced. On Saturday, 8th of May 2021, we discussed margin line activities. At the same time, we had some discussion on oral questions. The answers were elicited from the students. Sunday, 9th of May, you were sent a Google form based on the vocabulary on 1.2 An Encounter of a Special Kind. Again on 11th of May, the feedback on the learned vocabulary was conducted through activity sheet. Then 13th of May, Thursday, textual grammar based on 1.2 An Encounter of Special Kind was introduced through PowerPoint presentation. English workshop activities had also been discussed. Again on 14th of May, English workshop activities were discussed. On 15th of May, on a blog, an unseen passage was given for comprehensive reading and writing. On 17th of May, the answers of the unseen passage were shared with you and were discussed. Before that, in between, on 16th of May, Sunday, some language study activities based on our SSC board activity sheet. As per that pattern, on 1.2 An Encounter of a Special Kind were conducted. Also, textual passage for solving the activities, comprehensive reading and writing skill was given. The answers of all these activities of 15th, 16th of May were discussed on 17th of May. So in this way we had completely learned 1.2, an encounter of a special kind. I was talking to students in 10C. So you need to go back to your notebooks before bridge course and revise all these activities. I gave the references to you because I have all the notes and details have been noted in my notebook. Now, students in division A and B, this is for fresh learning for you, this topic, because you were not taught this. So please be attentive and you have to note everything very carefully. Now it's a time crisis because 45 days we have, I will not say spent, I will use the word invested on bridge course activities. Some of those activities will definitely be useful regarding your SSC board activity sheet of English L3. Now we have only 5 days for English up to 17th of September for sharing the videos and some Google Meets, approximately 6 to 7. It's not enough at all, we can understand, but finally we have to manage everything. So you will be sent maximum tasks through videos and you have to complete everything. If you have any doubt, you must ask it on your division's WhatsApp group. So this is important. Let's come back to 1.2, your My English course book 10, standard 10, page number 7, 1.2, an encounter of a special kind. First, let us discuss on warmer activity. Chit chat and warmer. There is an image or a picture on page number 7. What do you see in the picture? So in this picture we see a girl up to the neck deep flood water and she has risked her life to save a puppy, an young one of dog, by carrying on her head in a galvanized ghamela. In some places it is called tokra or tasla, but it is galvanized iron ghamela. This is an Indian word used in English. If you want to ensure, I just give you a hint, www.indiamart.com. If you visit this website, you will see the word used, galvanized iron ghamela. What do you think the girl is trying to do and why? So you have to observe the picture carefully and do write your response. Now I give my response for demonstration, but you have honestly to write your response for the second bullet question. What do you think the girl is trying to do and why? I think the girl is trying to save the life of a puppy, and that's why she has risked her life up to in the neck deep water of the flood. of Indian tradition and Indian culture. Our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents teach us humanity. They teach us to love selflessly to all the living things. आपण त्याला आपल्या संतांनी पण ते आपल्याला शिकवलेलं आहे. भूतदया means treating all living things with humanity, with love and affection, for their safety, for their survival. So live and let live is another message given us through our culture, through our traditions, and that's why I think this girl has risked herself to save a puppy. Bullet activity number 3. If you were in the place of that girl, what would you do? I want to draw your attention towards the question, the structure of the question. I write the question here on the board. So please be attentive. If you were in the place of that girl in the picture in warmer activity, what would you do? I want to draw your attention on the structure of the question. See here, two clauses. If you were in that place, in the place of that girl, this is subordinate clause or if clause, and what would you do? This is main clause or independent clause or principal clause. Now you see, if plus subject, you subject plus var rest of the part, comma, WH word, here what, plus would. This is very important because this is typical and special structure. What do you understand here? This is special structure for unconditional situation. When you want to discuss or tell or ask or reply on an unconditional situation, you have to use this structure. If plus subject plus verb in subordinate clause, WH word plus would plus main verb and question mark. For framing the question, this is very important. This is very important structure. If plus subject plus verb, or you can shortly say if verb and would plus base verb. So focus on these four keywords. In if plus verb, and in main clause would plus base verb. So these four circles are very important. So rest of the things you can understand with practice. If, verb and would plus base verb. So now answer. Now I give my response. You have to note your response in your notebook. This is my response. You can read my response, but you must not write my response in your notebook. You have to write your response. This is very important. If you were in the place of that girl, what would you do? If I were in the place of that girl, I would do the same to save the puppy. Someone may say, if I were in the place of that girl, I would try to save the puppy by taking someone's help because I can't swim and I am afraid of water. असा पण रिस्पॉन्स येऊ शकतो एखाद्याचा. What I mean to say, you have to be very honest to give your response to the question. असं काही नाही की प्रत्येकाने हेच उत्तर लिहिलं पाहिजे. Not necessary at all. You have to use language in your own context. So this practice of using language, practice of application of language in different situations enriches your experiences of responding, asking. So this is the purpose. The structure is important. See here, if plus subject plus verb, and here subject plus in statement would plus base verb. So this is very important. If verb, this is special structure. So that is to be kept in mind. This will be useful in different writing skill topics, responding in such unconditional situations in the past. So be aware of this. Do you think she will become successful in her mission? I don't have any doubt. I am sure she will be successful. She will become successful in her mission. Now here important word is used in the last question, that is mission. So see here, mission is a noun. Mission has different contexts. You must have read in the newspaper, you must have listened to in the news, on television, that mission Mars. So mission Mars, in this word phrase, what does mission mean? It's a long journey. For a special purpose. We call it an expedition. This is one context of the word mission in mission Mars. Now, or mission Antarctica. Now here, mission Mount Everest. Now here another context. Someone may say, student of SSC, 10th standard student may say, my mission SSC exam 2021-22. Now suppose someone has displayed in study room my mission SSC exam 2021-22. So here what does mission mean in this display? It means my tasks, my challenging work, or my goal. So these are the contexts. So here mission of the girl was to save the puppy. So it was her task. It was not an expedition. It was her task. So an expedition and task, these are two different contexts of the word mission, which is a noun. Keep in mind, this is very important. The last word used in the fourth bullet activity in chit-chat questions. Now, on the same page, match the appropriate headings with the images. 4 images are given in the 4 corners: A, then C, then B and D. Alright, and there are some headings. Our luxurious bungalows. So you observe the 4 images and match. So you must have matched it very quickly because it is not so difficult. Image, circular shaped image C, our luxurious bungalows. Number 2, heading number 2, my favorite pastime. So it is A, left side top corner. Then number 3, what a commotion. So it's image D, and engrossed in my books, image B. So these are the images and the headings we have matched. Now the activity which is not given in this warmer, but I want to extend it. This is considered an extension activity, warmer extension. You can write in your notebook in this way. This is important. Warmer extension. So serial number, part of speech, and meaning in Marathi. Now you see the 4 headings on the same page. Our luxurious bungalows, the word luxurious. Then second heading, the word pastime. Heading number 3, commotion. And heading number 4, the word engrossed. What is the part of speech of the word luxurious? This is an adjective. Pastime, noun. Commotion, noun. And engrossed, verb. So these are the parts of speech of the words used in the headings. And Marathi meaning luxurious. Our luxurious bungalows. So you have to write the Marathi meaning here. This is homework activity, writing Marathi words. So that will help you to prepare for question number 7, translation, skill development activity. So this is, I write here HW. So do it. Homework, writing the meanings of these 4 words in Marathi, in your mother tongue. Now listening activity. My English course book, standard 10, page number 8. Open your book and be attentive. An encounter of a special kind. My father was a medical professional working for a private company in Raniganj in West Bengal. The officers of the company were housed in an individual bungalows inside a large campus. Our house was in a corner of the campus. The officers' club was adjacent to the boundary wall of the garden, of our garden. The compound was luxurious with green grass, colorful flowers, and a host of tall and majestic trees. The seasonal vegetables in the kitchen gardens of the households and the magnificent trees constantly attracted squirrels and many species of birds. A group of langurs had even made their den in an aswatha tree nearby. They had all become a part and parcel of our existence and daily life. A small incident on a Saturday afternoon left a profound effect on me and unfolded before my eyes a whole new dimension to the wonders of God's creation. It was a few days into the puja vacation. Just like for any other child, the holidays provided an opportunity for me to become engrossed in various magazines and storybooks published especially for children in the festive season. After a hearty lunch, my parents and my younger sisters lay down for an afternoon nap, and I settled down with a storybook. The quiet afternoon presented the perfect backdrop for reading an adventure story. The silence was occasionally broken by the sound of my family's snoring, the intermittent chirping of house sparrows, the harsh cawing of a crow, the shrill call of a kite flying high above the ground. Minutes ticked by. I became deeply absorbed in the book. Suddenly, I heard a group of street dogs barking furiously in the distance. I chose to ignore the commotion, thinking that the pack of dogs might have cornered a hapless pig. But soon, the barking became louder and more aggressive, and the alarmed cawing of a flock of crows added to the cacophony. I also heard the disturbance approaching closer. Curiosity got the better of me. Leaving the book aside, I rushed to the veranda to see what was going on. I glanced towards the roof of the clubhouse and saw something horrible. A big male langur, apparently the leader of its group, was holding a baby langur in his hands and mercilessly biting it all over with the definite intent to kill. The helpless mother of the baby and other lesser members of the langur group were scattered on the roofs of the buildings nearby, watching the baby being killed. I recalled the terrible custom in the animal clan, according to which a dominant male usually does not allow another male baby or adult to survive within its group. Without losing any time, I gathered a stout stick in one hand and hurled a piece of stone at the marauding langur. The langur was so infuriated that it hardly took any notice of my assault, but then I started throwing more stones. The dogs on their part raised their pitch of cry. The changed circumstances and the sudden unexpected attack from unknown quarters forced the langur to drop the baby from the sloping roof over the veranda. The baby was listless and appeared to be dead. As its body started to slide down, the excitement of the pack of dogs grew manifold at the prospect of good kill and meal. Keeping the dogs at bay with the stick, I managed to catch hold of the baby langur's tail. Just as it tipped over the edge of the tiled roof, the baby appeared inert and lifeless. It was indeed a male baby. By this time, my parents and sisters had come out onto the veranda and were witnessing my rescue operation. Some of our neighbors had also gathered in the distance. I took the baby langur to our backyard and gently laid him on the floor inside the poultry coop. His body was full of deep bite marks and scratch. Blood was oozing from some of the wounds. The baby remained motionless. My father provided first aid to clean the wounds and stop the bleeding. I was relieved to find out that the baby was breathing even though his breaths were shallow. Splashes of cold water made the baby stir, and after a few shaky attempts, he sat up. He was in a state of shock and started trembling like a leaf in the wind. His two little twinkling eyes welled up with tears, and he started to sob with a muffled cry, just like a human child would after experiencing trauma. I offered him a peeled banana, which he accepted with his unsteady hand and began taking hesitant bites. My attention was fixed on the revival of baby languor. Suddenly, I had an uncanny feeling of being watched. I turned away from the coop and looked up. There sat the mother languor on our kitchen roof, watching every move I made. She simply sat there quietly, as if convinced that no harm was being done to her child. Meanwhile, the baby sensed the presence of his mother and started to sob and cry a little louder. I retreated from the door of the coop to allow the mother access to her baby. Immediately, the mother descended on the floor of the coop and picked up the baby in her arms. She gave the baby a thorough body inspection to check his injuries and then cuddled him tightly in her bosom. The baby found great solace in her caring arms. The mother sat still with the baby in her lap for a few minutes. It was almost as if she was pondering over her options and trying to figure out how she could keep the baby safe from further assault. For a few seconds, the mother languor looked straight into my eyes. Even today, I cannot forget that look in her eyes, showering silent gratitude on me for saving her child. I was overwhelmed by the emotion, the sentiment, and the way she said thanks to me. There sat a universal mother holding a stricken child in her lap. Then, in a flash, she jumped with her baby clinging to her belly and reached our kitchen roof. She surveyed the area for the vicious male languor and then leapt away in the direction opposite to the place of the violent encounter. The brief meeting with the mother and the baby languor convinced me that interspecies communication and mutual trust is indeed a reality, and should anyone strike the right chord, the relationship hums into action. The mother languor showed me that food was not the only means of communication between man and animal, but that there were other means of establishing a bond through trust, compassion, and mutual understanding. 55 years have passed since that day. I am now 70 years old, but I still fondly remember that encounter of a special kind. This story has been written by Tapan Mukherjee. So now friends, this was a listening practice to you. Now I humbly request you to go through the story, read it yourself independently, and after reading the story, you list the new vocabulary in the next part of the lesson. The vocabulary will be introduced, so it will be helpful to ensure your listed vocabulary with their meanings. Thank you.